Cameron Castro, head baseball coach at Lake Erie, and this is the 2017 season preview. I think that really it's just compete. This program was in such a good spot when I was fortunate enough to take it over from Coach McGee in 2014. They were in an NCAA regional, just a couple of wins away from a Division II World Series and a trip to Cary, North Carolina. And I think the last 2 years, by the program standards, they've kind of underachieved a little bit, been hit by the injury bug, but also still had some success in its own right. But I think this year it's just about getting back on track and getting back to a point where it's about competing and setting the tempo week in and week out, playing how we want to play. And I think that if we can do that, then we can take the results as they fall. But we've got a young team, which is a good thing for us as we get going this year, and we've got a good young core of our 32 players. 13 of them are freshmen. We've got a steady group of returners, experience, especially on the pitching staff side of things. And I think that if we can combine the experience that we return on our pitching staff with the depth that we have from a young core standpoint, then I think it's a pretty good recipe, not only for this year, but as we build towards the future a little bit as well. For us to play in the GLIAC conference tournament this year, I think it's going to be, as I just alluded to, I think it's going to be about us playing our way. And I think for us and for this team, it's aggressive and it's fast. And because of the depth that we return on our pitching staff, it's gonna have to carry us a little bit. I think at least to start early. And I think if we asked anybody who was around this program last year, who returned from the program last year, it was, the pitching was didn't hold up the way they thought it would. But that being said, we've got some significant players back in that part of it. David Lemasters, Michael Striffler, who both had pretty good years last year as sophomores. They're back, and I think that if we can put those things together on the mound, and we can create similar numbers as far as on-base percentage, getting scoring opportunities, then we'll be okay. I do think that this offense is going to be a little bit different than last year. Last year we, as a team, I believe, hit close to 50 home runs. So, between losing Luke Raley to the draft, Cale Giddings, those two guys both hit 10-plus home runs between the two of them, and this year our offense is just going to be a little bit different. I think that we're going to be a little bit more aggressive. We're going to look to take the extra base and try to create some scoring opportunities in that way. So if we can create similar numbers of scoring chances with runners on base, and then we can obviously improve the pitching performance from last year, then I think that'll give us a chance to get into the mix. And there's only 11 teams playing GLIAC baseball this year, and 6 of them get a chance to play in the postseason. So it'll be tough. The league's very good. It was good when I played here. I'm fortunate enough to be a product of the program, and I'm excited to kind of get back into the league and see what it's still got. I'm excited for the chance that we have to compete to get back into that tournament. The program was in it 3 straight years, 2012 through 2014, and finished runner-up in 2014. So I'm excited just to try to get our foot back into that door, and that is our definite goal for this year. We've got a couple of returning players who I think that we're really counting on from an offensive standpoint. You look at our catcher, Nigel Williams, who had a terrific freshman year. Reese Rua is another returner who had a very good freshman year, switch hitting center fielder. But we've also got some newcomers a little bit. Caleb Waller is a freshman from Vermillion, Ohio. He's been great in our infield so far in the preseason. But we also got some guys that we're hoping to step up a little bit, who last year were just didn't get in there all the time, or bit the injury bug a little bit. Wes Birchmeyer is a junior; he's finally healthy. Expecting big things out of him. Ryan Carver is a junior infielder, and he was kind of a utility guy last year. Didn't get into the mix a whole lot, but he looks to be have a chance to be an everyday guy. And then for the pitching standpoint, we already touched on David Lemasters, Michael Striffler. We returned both of those guys, but we also have some significant senior depth, and Connor Ryan and Jeremy Way, Michael Poole. and even into our freshman class, we've got some talented arms there. We were able to add a transfer in August when I got the job, Jacob Green. We're counting on him to be a big arm for us out of the bullpen, but you know, I think that our pitching staff will have a good mix of experience with some young guys. But I would say that you know, the benefit for us is that I think it can come from any of them. It's not just going to be for us. It's not just going to be as one guy goes, we all go. It's going to be as we all go, we all go. So I think that'll be beneficial for us.